What's going on, everyone? So unfortunately my week 4 opponent for WPL Season 9 had to forfeit. I did mention at the end of the last week that my opponent might be going on vacation and we may not be able to battle, and that's happened to be the case right here. So we ended up claiming a 3-0 forfeit win against Adam, coach of the Manchester Skarmorys. Now, I'm pretty confident I would have won anyway. I'm like 3-0 against Adam and he's never made playoffs, so if anything I probably lost out on differential, but that's totally fine right here. I did not want to just not have a battle video up though, so I hit up Storm Plays, coach of the San Diego Sneasels, who is another coach, and we battled with pyrotozed teams using viable sets. The last time I did this, which I think was Season 8, Week 11, we used unviable sets, but he really wanted to use viable ones this time, which I'm totally cool with, right? So let's go ahead and see what went down right here. Regarding my team, I just remembered that I was trying to go for a Mega Tyranitar win condition because it was Dragon Nets, but they didn't give you a move to hit the Bisharp. I didn't have Fire Punch or Earthquake, so that was definitely a tough factor throughout the course of this game. My Entei was Choice Bed, my Tornadus was just like Life Orb Hurricane or something like that. It was AV Eel, it was Subcom Mind Keldeo, and then Subcom Mind Gardevoir, so pretty much if he gives me Debunge the Bisharp I can win, but other than that Mega Tyranitar is not going to be doing a lot right here. I figured he would want to lead off with one of his Stealth Rockers, which I don't have a Stealth Rocker, so that kind of sucks, so I decided to lead off with my Keldeo in case it's Tyranitar. If it's Celebi I can pivot to like Tornadus or Entei, but I don't really switch into Tyranitar, so I figured leading Keldeo would be my best bet, as my opponent does opt to go with the Tyranitar, so this is probably the rocker right here. My Keldeo does not even have a fighting type move. It was like Subcom Mind Taunt Scald or something like that with the leftovers. So I'm going to go ahead and Scald right here, and we're both going to go ahead and take some chip damage from the sand. I could get in my Tornadus this turn as he makes a great double into the Tyranitar. I guess really prioritizing the hazards, so I'm going to U-turn right here just to get it in range of my Mega Tyranitar's +1 Stone Edge, as those hazards go up, and I really wish I had Defog on my team now. That would be really nice, but Pyrotoss decided not to give me that. I'm going to go ahead and sub up right here as he breaks it with an Earthquake, and then he's going to go out into Celebi, so I sort of get those turns wrong. And then when Celebi comes in right here, I end up making an interesting play. I was hoping to Calm Mind and then maybe try to get like a +1 Scald off to really weaken this thing, but he just drops the Z move right here, which is pretty sad because I wanted Keldeo to do more. But that's fine, I guess I can just bring out my Tornadus here. I believe he pits to the Empoleon right here, as what I can do is just go ahead and Hurricane and hit to the left, of course, so now I have to U-turn, and my Assault Vest Electros here does not take the Scald very well, as you guys will see. That is not Torrent boosted, so the Scald just does like 32%, which is surprising for AV Eel. I guess that was just like max special attack, but I can Volt Switch out right here, bring back my Tornadus, as I believe this time he just ends up sacking the Celebi, seeing as though it does nothing, and he may as well just not forfeit health on his Empoleon, so the Empoleon comes back right here. I'm going to go for a knockoff, as he's going to go for the max special attack Ice Beam right here and just knock out my Tornadus. This thing is ridiculous, so I'm going to bring him an Entei right now because Stomping Tantrum is like super free. He's going to of course bring in the one thing that takes it, being the Gallade. Here I just don't bother to switch out. I figured I can take anything and I can just go ahead and knock him out. But he goes for sub, which I'm glad I stayed in and broke that, of course. He's going to Drain Punch some health back here. It looks like close combat probably killed me, but he was a Drain Punch. I can still knock him out with the Stomping Tantrum, of course. Gengar is going to hit the field right here, and it turns out to be Life Orb. I don't know if it has Focus Blast or not, so I can't risk Tyranitar on this. I go to AV Eel right here, and I believe I just go ahead and click the Volt Switch right here, and I can go ahead and set up on with my Tyranitar on this. I figured the Gengar is much more likely to have Focus Blast than this is to have like Superpower, right? I can take an Earthquake, which I believe is what he tries to weaken me with right here, and I can go ahead and Dragon Dance up. Now you guys remember, the one factor right here is that I can't touch the Bisharp at all, but he doesn't know that, so he's actually going to bring out the Empoleon first right here, and die to Crunch, and I think at this point he realizes I probably cannot touch the Bisharp, and if I can, he just loses anyway, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and Stone Edge right here. Really sucks that I can't hit that thing, but he will be knocking me out with the Iron Head right here. What I can do though is bring out my Gardevoir, which is able to outspeed this thing. And ideally with some Life Orb recoil, maybe my AV Eel can live from the Gengar and knock it out, but as you guys will see right here, it's going to be too healthy, and Life Orb Gengar is actually really strong right here, so it's going to come and pick up the kill right here with the Shadow Ball, and then of course I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Electros, and I will be dying to the Sludge Wave right here. So I believe my Gardevoir did have Substitute. I think what I had to do to maybe try to win that game was I had to sub up on the Sucker Punch and then maybe hope that I could outplay Sucker Punches from there and knock him out, because obviously Gardevoir behind a sub can just knock out the Gengar, right? So I think that was my one way of winning, but I was just clicking buttons at that point. I didn't really think about the scenario, and that is going to be the game. Really solid game though. Obviously it doesn't really count for anything. It's just a casual game. Neither of us actually built these teams. They were Pyrotozed randomized, of course, so that's going to be that. I really hope we don't have to claim any more forfeits for the rest of the season. I know next week we battle Mid, who will be able to battle me. I think I'm actually battling him today, so that should be exciting, and I'll see you guys then. Later.